Just saying, I'm no IT guy.
Here we go. We're live now.
Hey, Damon, what is up, dude?
We've never done this before, Kurt. So it's
Damon,
kind of hard.
It's our maiden voyage here. So happy Monday, dude. First Monday in November, and now it's gonna get loud. So, hey, Damon, how are you?
I'm doing great today, guys.
I'm just. Do you notice anything different? Is there anything different in the background here?
Well, I know that with you today, the gentleman is familiar. He has the best mustache in manufacturing.
And I get to touch it. The best mustache in manufacturing is right there, dude. Best mustache in manufacturing. Hey, Damon, happy Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. So welcome to the show. And man, dude, like I've been up since like 4 a.m, just so fired up for this. Of course, like the whole time difference thing, like I'm way off. But
yeah,
we are in the Windy City today. We're in Chicago, and I am with the one, the only, the manufacturing unicorn, Ray Ziganto. Ray, how about you?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Glad to finally meet you in person. Can you believe this?
Jeez, David, like we go back like early, it might be in pre-COVID. So, connected with Ray through our dear mutual friend, Allison DeFord. And boy, I don't know if I know a more fierce advocate for manufacturing than this handsome devil. So, and as busy as he is, he takes time and shoots over. We're in the west suburbs. We're right behind O'Hare, and we're hanging out at the lobby of my hotel. And so, Ray, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
A little bit on background on man, this is going to be good, Damon. I'm just so fired up. What's a little bit of background on you, your manufacturing background? Let's go there first.
No problem. Awesome to be here. Love you guys. Love everything you're doing for manufacturing. My background, it was an awkward journey. I mean, I grew up. I tell the story. My old man had a shop in the basement. He didn't have a man cave, and so I always hung around people that made stuff and did stuff. And over the years, had the great good fortune to stumble into manufacturing. It was alcohol related. I met a guy. Who ultimately wound up giving me my first job standing around a keg of beer at a friend's college graduation party. And 38 years later, had an awesome career, a lot of time in job shop manufacturing. So I get what it takes to get up every day, get good parts out the door, keep people motivated, keep the customers happy, and keep innovating. And that's a lot of balls to juggle. So I come at what I'm doing with a tremendous amount of respect and admiration for manufacturers everywhere. They're my heroes. And at this point in my career, I'm on a mission, and I'm on this earth to help as many manufacturers as I can elevate themselves and their businesses to just go out there and kick ass.
Man.
We just go.
That might be the best line of all time on the show, dude. Like, you know what? We're stopping the show right there.
We're done.
That was like total mic drop, and like
let's talk about
Nancy O'Leary. I'm going to see Nancy later today. Nancy, what a way to kick off the week. Powerhouse folks here, build big impacts for manufacturers. Hey, we've got Diane from Tech. So guys, drop a note in the chat. Let us know as you're here. You want to connect with this handsome guy. I'm here with Ray Ziganto. Ray's with IMEC. But before we go there, Ray, like you said, you've had an extensive manufacturing background. You're president of a 1,000-person company. You've had literally all over the world. Yep. You've had a manufacturing experience. Just go there. Give us a little bit of your background.
I got interested in international. I got real interested in international in college. My wife happens to be from Malaysia, from Penang, Malaysia.
Oh yeah.
And I've always had I've loved travel. I got the opportunity. My folks sent me on a high school trip. I got to go to Germany, and it was just where a lot of kids go on their first trip and can't wait to find the nearest McDonald's or Starbucks so they find something that's familiar. I wanted to know what the locals were doing, at 16 years old. And that curiosity never left me. And, I started actively pursuing international opportunities when I was probably in my late 20s. And actually had a great opportunity. I worked for a company. I lived and worked in Singapore. I lived and worked in Mexico. I've spent tons of time in Malaysia and Shanghai and all over the world. And it's fun to see the differences and what's similar. The similarity, what's remarkable is the languages might be different, but people are largely people. They care about their families. They care about making a better life for themselves. They care about learning new stuff. They care about being treated with respect. That doesn't change anywhere. The cultural stuff you roll up into, which is kind of the cherry on top, makes it special and unique. But that's just been awesome, and that's probably been the international experience has been probably the biggest influencer for me in terms of when I come back and work with U.S. manufacturers, because I had the chance to be in places where manufacturers didn't have a fraction of the resources we have here in the States, and they made it happen. And they just had that heart and that passion, and they just went for it. And if I can bring a little bit of that back and reinstill that in some manufacturers today, I think that's key. Our friend Chris Lukey interviewed a guy, and I wish I could give full attribution, but I think hit the nail on the head. He says a lot of manufacturers in the U.S. today are prisoners of the decade in which they were started. Let that resonate a little bit. And in some cases, I think that's an homage to, hey, Grandpa started it in the 50s, and this is the way he did it. But there are other examples, and we're real close to one right now. Weagle, Weagle Tool is a third generation manufacturer that has continued to evolve with each transition of ownership within the family, but they've stayed true to your values. And I think companies lose that. It's like, keep the values, evolve the technology and the processes. And I think what we're seeing today is too many people are still trying to hang on to a lot of the old when they should be, listen, own that spirit when Grandma and Grandpa started this thing in the garage, but keep up. Keep up and leverage it. So
I love that, respecting the tradition.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like Damon, we talk about disruption, transformation and everything. And that's the problem is, I know even like myself with e-commerce, I come in like a bull in a china shop, and you need to change this, change that. And it disrupts everything. It's not positive disruption. It's like negative disruption. So I actually love what you're saying. Let's go here for a little bit.
Yeah.
So you president of company, just talk. So say there's young person out there in manufacturing, or we love being advocates of why everybody should be going to manufacturing.
Yeah.
Talk about how you've built your career over this 30. Would you say 38?
38 plus. Yeah. It's the rules of the game has changed. Mm-hmm. It's different today. I'm of a generation in the workforce. I think my shortest tenure with any company was 2 years. My longest was 18. Unheard of today. I think my advice to folks that are coming up, number one, manufacturing was and will continue to be an awesome industry. We're in, as Dave Boulay has pointed out, my boss, we're in kind of a manufacturing super cycle where there are some decisions getting made right now that are going to influence the path of manufacturing like never before. So is it a great time to be here? Yeah. My advice to anybody that is interested in getting into manufacturing, number one, the notion that you have to have a degree to get started is not true. That's no longer true. I would strongly advise getting as much exposure and experience as you possibly can. Local community colleges, I'll give a shout out to College of Lake County and their Advanced Technology Center. They do a thing now with young students to build awareness. It's called Gimme 10. And what they do is students that are interested will pair them up with a manufacturer, and that student will spend 10 hours just to get exposed to what's going on. It's no big commitment on everybody's side. But face it, kids don't grow up riding their bikes in industrial parks. They don't know what's going on, in these businesses. Go to shows, go to find somebody that's working somewhere doing something you think could be cool someday and get their feedback. Find somebody, as passionate as I am about manufacturing, it doesn't resonate. My passion may not resonate or connect with a 16-year-old. So sometimes it's not what's said, but who's saying it. So the guys like Andrew Crow that are out there today and just killing it. Megan, exactly. That's the future. As soon as you can connect people with that and see what's going on, but get experiences, try and do stuff and keep it going.
And, getting those high school kids in and seeing how things are made, watching the machines work, watching things happen, just understanding it. I mean, it is hypnotic
Yeah.
when you get into good manufacturing companies, watching it's the symphony of people and machines and
Yep.
materials all moving and flowing together with products coming out the other end. It's awesome that they can get those kids at 10 hours, because that's enough time to really understand a lot of different pieces in the puzzle.
Yep.
There's so many. I mean, you could start right out of high school. And people have heard me say this 100 times. My son's got friends. They're 24 years old. They did not know about manufacturing, and they are working in jobs that I'm sure they wish they weren't working in. And if they had started out of high school in a manufacturing company, they could be doing things that they could look forward to a career without a college degree that can create life.
And here's the thing: the average age, pop quiz. What's the average age of a person that is participating in a registered apprenticeship in the United States? Give me a guess.
Damon, you got a number?
I don't even know. It's old though, probably because we don't have
29.
Yeah.
It's 29. So that difference between 18 to 20, 10, 11 years in there, where we've either lost a group of people that we should have got earlier, or they're figuring out, hey, I got my 4-year degree. I don't like what I'm doing, right now. Or, they got tired of kind of moving around they had a lot of jobs and now they want a career. That's the thing with manufacturing. We got to quit talking about manufacturing jobs and talk about careers, because that's what's going on. Because without a college degree, what's the average wage in the Chicago area in manufacturing? It's close to 90 grand. That's a good piece of cheese, man. So
it's a great piece of cheese right there. So
that's a lot better. And the hours are a lot better than delivering pizza.
Right. That's right. Hey, we got a couple comments here. So we've got MD saying, hey, let's connect. We've got Alan, my buddy Alan's he's down the road in Indianapolis.
Josh, yesterday or last week.
We've got Nancy saying students and their parents need to see and
Manufacturing
understand what a manufacturing career looks like. And boy, she was just with us last week. Nancy, send you lots of love, my friend. So
she did the update on the program. Those guys did on their nickel, just launched. Hey, this is the face of manufacturing.
Manufacturing Mavericks.
Yep.
So go to manufacturingmavericks.com. As a matter of fact, Nancy, if you could drop that in the chat for everybody.
Yeah, drop the link.
Manufacturingmavericks.com. Our folks our friends at Custom Direct Inc. just did an amazing job. And so Nancy, Jeffrey, the whole crew there just did an amazing what an initiative of just promoting one at a time, just wonderful millennials, Gen Zers. They're Gen Zers that are getting into manufacturing. So, all right, Ray, let's go here. Okay, all over the place. You've been global, lifetime career. And hey, guys, again, I just want to drop a note drop a note in the chat box. Let us know that you're out there. Happy Monday. We're with the Manufacturing Unicorn. We're here in Chicago, just having a great conversation. Let's go here. Illinois.
Yeah.
I think there's 1 or 2 manufacturers in the state of Illinois. Do I have that correct?
12,500.
Dude, I just missed, Damon. I'm just off by a couple, but there's 12,000. Yeah, it was my mulligan. So there's 12,500 manufacturers here in the state of Illinois. We're in Cook County, so we're in the western suburbs, right near O'Hare. And man, I'm telling you, in Cook County is just you think Windy City and downtown and just wonderful. It is just an abundance, a plethora of manufacturing here in Cook County. So let's go there, Ray. Talk about some of the manufacturing here. Let's touch on the state, but let's start with right here in Cook County.
Cook County, if you look at it, everybody thinks, Chicago. Chicago's a piece of the puzzle, but there are, I think, 93 other villages, cities, municipalities that encompass Cook County as well. And if I'm not mistaken, there's something like 5,000 manufacturers in that area. I mean,
5,000.
The numbers are staggering. The numbers are staggering. That are there, and even across the state, that 12,000 plus, according to the definition of small and medium-sized manufacturer, which is technically less than 500. The majority are probably less than 100. It's like 99% of the manufacturers across the state fall into that category, which is right in IMEC in particular, MEPs in general. That's our sweet spot. That's where we live. These are the folks that we work with everywhere. And manufacturing is everything from, it's aerospace, it's medical device, it's EV, manufacturing, it's automation, it's food manufacturing. There's an enormous food production and growing segment throughout the state. that's part of it. It's distillers, it's breweries. There are so many businesses that fall within that manufacturing area, and the things we talk about and that you bring to the table, they resonate across all of these businesses. Is it workforce? Probably the number one and number two thing we work on and engage with our clients on over the last year. It's been around workforce. It's been around growth. It's been around cyber. It's been around e-commerce. So we help front door to back door is what we do. As one of my colleagues says, it's PO to cash. I go front door to back door, or whatever's keeping them up at night. We come in with a plan, because owners in small manufacturers, it's easy to get sucked into that vortex of working in the business, not on the business. Yeah. We show up and give them that little break to have a big impact and get the plate spinning, and then get back, do what you're doing. Now you're doing it at a higher level.
Man, I love some of the analogies today. Damon, you dropped the word symphony earlier. Dude, like that was a phenomenal, he's talking about, spinning the plates and just, it's just awesome. It's just so exciting. So let's go here, Ray. So we're here in Illinois, 12,000 manufacturers from top to bottom, just a whole, it's just such a wonderful manufacturing state. We're talking about IMEC. So for anybody out there that's not familiar, just share a little bit. Who is IMEC? But I know you're flying the colors today. You got the manufacturing extension partnership right on your, who and what is the MEP, and who is IMEC?
IMEC, the MEP network, we're part of Department of Commerce. Where the MEP network is how Department of Commerce deploys resources throughout all 50 states plus Puerto Rico. And we have a mission. In fact, we're the only federally funded program, the only one in the country that is solely dedicated to working with small and medium-sized manufacturers. And it's expected and incumbent on us to play nice with every other federal agency and local one as well, to the benefit of those manufacturers. So what do we do? We're a group of about 58 manufacturing specialists. We bring a really unique and robust set of tools, techniques, and knowledge to manufacturers to help them be more competitive, help them thrive, help them innovate, and help them really deliver that multiplier that we all know manufacturing brings to the economy. Nothing in the economy contributes like manufacturing does. Every dollar generated manufacturing is about $1.89 to the rest of the economy in the area. So it's an engine, and our job is to keep it going. So
I love that. Innovation, thrive, and just, so again, if any of our friends in manufacturing out there, whatever state you're coming from, strongly encourage you, welcome you, check out your local MEP. You get to hook up with guys like Ray. Hey, we got a few comments here. So hey, Nancy, here, Nancy dropped manufacturingmavericks.com. So guys, check out that website. It's an all year long celebration. And so, hey, we've got Diane coming, manufacturing careers. We've got someone dropping a note. Hey, DR saying hello. So, hey, happy Monday. So again, guys, we're here with Ray Ziganto. We're in Chicago. We're talking about manufacturing, how a lot of awesomeness here that we're talking about. So we're talking about the MEP network, manufacturing extension partnerships, and IMEC. And so Ray, let's go into, so manufacturers out there, and they're like, hey, I'm dealing with a certain issue. Okay. Like, is it realistic the MEP can help me with like a little bit of anything or everything? Like it seems like MEP is known for like, we have a guy or a gal, right? We have a guy or a gal.
Got someone that can help.
We got somebody that can help. So let's go there between like you're 58 strong here and with the IMEC, internally, you have third-party resources. Just talk about when somebody reaches out to you, what does that engagement look like?
I guess the first thing is we hope that more manufacturers get comfortable just doing that initial thing. Reach out and just ask, hey, does anybody know? Because I've been there. I've been that guy where it's like, we'll figure it out ourselves. The notion of reaching out or asking for somebody, well, if I hire a consultant, it's going to cost me a fortune. Well, what's it costing you to live with the problem? Number one, and number two, you're wrong. It's not going to cost you a fortune. Right. So once you get over the pride thing, you say, listen, if I could get some help and shorten my learning schedule here so that I can move on to that next thing, that's going to be a huge help. How does IMEC engage? You reach out. The very first thing we do, we come at our engagements with manufacturers from a point of service.
Yeah.
We've got the worst business model in the world. Be all things to all manufacturers. It starts with a phone call. And sometimes, to your point, it is, I know a guy. Maybe it's not something that fits within our purview, but at least we can share, hey, let me get you a phone number, make an introduction, share a report about some industry, information. Sometimes it's like I'm kicking tires. I don't know where to begin on this lean journey or readiness for automation or any of my DEI readiness. There are so many things we can do. How about we come in and do what we call a mini project and just kind of spend some time with you and develop State of the Union. Here's where you are relative to what your OEM customers might be expecting from you or relative to where the industry is. And then from there, you make decisions. You want to go after it on your own? Do you want us to help you with any piece of it? We can do that, as well, all the way up to and including, we've got clients where we're like an extension of their advisory board, where we just are kind of ongoing. They're committed to growth, and we're there to be able to bring in a lean expert one day, an automation expert the next, an organizational development person the next, an ERP expert the next. We've got Jedi level people that we can bring in either from our staff or from our third-party resources to help move the needle. Now, how do you do that at scale? Largely through the help of our three third-party resources, such as you and Nancy and the folks at Custom Direct. Last year, we were able to bring value to 2,000 over, I think it's closer to 2,300 manufacturers throughout the state. Wow. That's everything from they downloaded an article, they attended a webinar or something like that. But that's a lot. It's not enough. There's 12,000 out there. We've got more to go after.
Yeah.
But that 20-some hundred generated about $500 million in economic impact across the state. That's client reported. That's not us reported. Because that's how we're measured. So I'm going to circle back to the beginning. How do we engage? Just raise your hand. Just raise your hand and say, I got something I've been wondering about, and start a conversation. That's it.
The other thing that I'm really impressed by with a lot of the MEPs is they do a great job of understanding what grants are coming out and how that can help manufacturers, because as manufacturers, you don't have time to be searching all the grants coming out from the government, but the MEPs do a really good job of doing that and saying, all right, there's a grant that can help you with this. Let's get it out to people because we can facilitate that and get some beneficial work for you and really share the cost, which I think it takes the cost of some of these things that are prohibitive down into the range of, hey, let's do it.
It's, if there was one thing, I'm so glad you brought that up. There are so many resources available, whether it's grants come and go. And MEP generally, we don't write grants, but we stay close to the organizations that do. And a lot of times they need help deploying it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like deploying ARPA money. In Cook County, there was tremendous effort put into and a dedicated focus in the manufacturing space in suburban Cook County to do projects that are 100% reimbursable, that touch on all of that stuff that manufacturers worry about. We didn't make it up. We went out and did a survey, and 1,000 manufacturers came back and said, post-COVID, here's what we need help with. So, and there's money there to be done.
Yeah.
Same thing in McHenry County is happening. There's a new project coming in Kane County. There's always new stuff happening. Then there's the workforce boards. Everybody's talking about workforce. I need to upskill. I need to find new people. How do I onboard? How do I do apprenticeships? There is tremendous amount of resources out there to be able to, if not fully fund, significantly offset the costs of doing all of those things. And your MEPs are right in the middle.
Yeah.
Because we're the ones that can help get you ready for those career paths. We help manufacturers be good consumers of the workforce that is coming out. And manufacturers are in a position, they have to compete for that workforce.
Yes.
It's not 30 years ago where you put the sign out on the curb that says, taking applications, and then you sift through them, it's no way, no way. And it's everything from, reminding a manufacturer, maybe if you picked up a paintbrush, you'd have a better response to your in-person interviews, to, hey, how are you leveraging video to showcase what your place is really like. So there's a lot of new tools and techniques that can help. So just again, it goes to raise that hand. The money's available. I had somebody tell me, it's like, dude, dudes and dudettes, we're giving you your money back. This free money was collected from taxes somewhere, and the government has found a way to redeploy it so that you can crank up your engine. Take it. Take it.
That's our mutual friends, the Wall brothers at Louvers. I know he Derek and Devin, they use that line. They're like, I think they have a quote or a testimonial of like, IMEC is like the best teammate that I have that doesn't cost me a thing, and so it's just like, it's just amazing how they get to move the needle. And it's just so let's go ahead, Damon.
Great point. It just, because as manufacturers, you're worried about manufacturing. You want to make these improvements, and those grants or other opportunities to help you, offset some of that cost is a key. It is a key, and you're just missing out if you're not talking to the MEPs and taking advantage of those.
Right. Exactly. Hey, and as Diane says, yes, I know someone that can help. I know a guy. And so, all right, we're talking about IMEC. And so we have a number of dear friends that, we can give a shout out, and you get, Dr. Dave Lay, Damon, he was just on the show a few weeks ago. Just
awesome.
He's flying the colors right there.
Right.
Yeah. Dr. Dave was on the bus tour going around the state. And of course, Jaclyn, Melissa Bassa, Melissa Zerbel, Amanda, I'm almost fearful to try to rattle off names because I'm going to leave off, there's 58 teammates, but talk about just how amazing some of your, there's Cassie, Noah, we've had Damon, we've probably had 20 people on the show from IMEC, but just talk a little bit about some of the team members that you have.
It really is the cool thing. What I really love at this point in my career, the caliber of the teammates that I get a chance to interact with, is just spectacular. The one thing that I found out, I was out on my own doing consulting thing for a while, and that comes with its own challenges, as you guys know. But what I didn't appreciate until I got into IMEC was the opportunity to learn from my colleagues. There's just the bench is so deep and so strong. And it's just, I'm in awe of the folks that we work with and what they've accomplished. It happened over the years. You climb a few rungs. You start thinking you're the real deal. I get to IMEC and it's like big deal. There's 30 people that have done cooler stuff than me. But it's awesome. It's awesome because once you get past the war stories, it's like, well, how can we bring that to bear? For this 12-person business, or this one that's starting up, or this other one that's really looking to pivot into technology.
Yeah,
we got a group of been there, done that. So why would you take the long way?
I love that, and going back, so a couple of things. I admire your humility, to say it's almost like, when you play little league or whatever, baseball, then all of a sudden, you play, you start playing with other kids in your area, like, oh, gee, maybe I'm not as good as I thought.
I was great in little league.
I was batting 500 in little league, then, but anyway, not to say that you're, but it's just, iron sharpens iron, right? And just being around, just amazing. And, and again, when you're a consultant, it can be, you're on your own, just kind of, you're a lone wolf doing your own thing. When you're part of a team, and just everybody's just so passionate. And so, Damon, we've worked with a number of different MEPs, and, I was at the MEP conference, the national conference, and it's just amazing. Just the one common bond with everybody, I'll say two, is the amazing talent that everybody, this person came from retail. What does retail have? Well, it's customer service. This person came from this person came from, totally different walks of life. There's 1,300 people that work with the MEP network. And then just the sheer, just unconditional passion for manufacturing. Hey, we've got a comment here from Alan. These are the exact issues we work. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. So Alan's a dear friend of ours, comes to us through the Purdue MEP. And so they do property tax relief and automation and workforce. And so, as a matter of fact, Wesley and I are doing a fun little LinkedIn workshop at Purdue next Thursday, just a little shameless plug. So, all right, let's take it another step further. What are some of the things that you're super excited? We're coming in towards the end of the year. What are you excited about at IMEC or for manufacturers coming into the fourth quarter, looking out ahead for 2024?
Well, the good news is I'm already in the middle of the sweet spot. Our year ended September 30th. So now, this is first quarter, and we're guns a-blazing now, just to get stuff rocking. We have so much on the horizon in terms of stepping up what we've already done in the workforce space, what we're doing in the automation, or leadership development, really the full suite of projects we've got going. Our new supply chain portal that we recently launched is really getting some tremendous traction. Shout out to my colleague, Adrian Garces, who's leading that up with Christy Johns, and just developing some phenomenal things. Our team is coming up with some great innovations now to offer manufacturers kind of some quick hits, some 30-minute, 1 hour type things that can really add some value in a short amount of time and get back to work. We know how busy everybody is. And again, everything we do, we have to start from bring the value first. So we're looking to do as much, live interaction type stuff that we can. I'm working on a cool project in the casting and forging space that's funded by DOD to specifically drive innovation and resiliency in that segment. And that's been really exciting to see what's going on in that space and do some special events in that area. But the real goal in the coming year is to try to create more peer-to-peer collaboration with manufacturers. Though the islands of excellence are nice, but and I've been in manufacturing a long time, we still have to shake that. Well, I don't want them to know who my customers are. I got news for you. They probably already do.
Yeah.
And most companies small manufacturers that think they're dominating a segment are probably only supplying like rounding error compared to what's possible. So my message to manufacturers, there's plenty of work out there. Don't be worried about the other guy grabbing what's yours. Work on leveraging and efficiently making sure you got all the share of customer for what you currently have, because there's a lot left on the table. What are you doing to develop your workforce? At the end of the day, even with the industry 4.0, and hold on to your seats, they're already talking industry 5.0. 20 years from now, what it's going to come down to is your company culture, your unique data set and domain expertise, and your ability to innovate. That's it. That's it. It's like that Elon Musk thing. The car's not the product, the factory's the product. That's kind of where the mindset needs to be. So manufacturers, that's where, what are you really working on? What is it you're really working on right now? That's where we need to be. And there's a lot of best practices already happening.
And you hit that at the beginning too. You said they're stuck in the decade that they were founded, and those are the companies that will die, because the companies that are innovating, the companies that are not afraid to do that. And like you said, the factory is the product, not the things you're making. And that is a drop the mic moment for the decade, because it is what we need to be concentrating on.
And the flip side, because the other thing that's real popular, and rightfully so, I wish I could remember the cat's name. He's got a business that helps manufacturers focus on EBITDA, and really as a metric. And he's doing a huge service to manufacturers, because at the end of the day, the age of the average manufacturing owner is getting older, and they got to figure out, if they're going to sell it internally, to management or family, what's it worth? And having those conversations, and Damon, in your business, looking at it in a, from a buyer's perspective, the story of how it came to be is nice, but are you keeping up? Do you have a process around employee attraction, retention, development? Do you have a process for retaining and growing your market share? Do you have a process for innovating on your shop floor? If these things aren't processes, but they're based on, Bob, who's been with the company for 50 years, and he just knows what to do. Well, when Bob gets hit by a pie truck tomorrow, what happens? You're kind of stuck. So,
and this is true whether or not you're succeeding the business or selling a business too, because if you want your family to be interested in it, it can't look like it did 50 years ago. Even if it's making money, you expect somebody to come to work there, one of your kids, one of your nephews or nieces, whoever, take that thing over. They got to be excited about it. It's got to be good. And bringing the next generation in, it better make a little more money, because otherwise somebody's giving away a lot if someone comes in without that business keeping on and growing.
And that's the thing, because what happened, I see this more often than not, and this is probably going to resonate. It's like the owners, rightfully so, a lot of them were accidental CEOs. They were good at what they did. They wound up building a business that consumed way more of their time and energy than they ever thought they would. So rightfully so, they suck some money out of it, especially as they're getting kind of near the end. So it's not going back into equipment or anything.
Yep.
So what happens, even if it goes to the family, all the cash has been sucked out of it. The new owner's stuck with the old equipment. No way to recapitalize the business. So they're kind of at the cliff right now with a wind at their back.
Yeah.
It's tough. So the right way to transition it is, you better leave them a few bucks in the bank and some new equipment,
you got to be growing
forward,
you got to be growing. You got to be
evolving. So I'm going to throw a little curveball. Yeah. So from when you were chatting earlier, so this might be a little bit of a broad question, but as you were chatting earlier, I'm thinking the 75% of all manufacturers are 20 employees or less. Like you were saying, like 99 are probably 100 and less. I think 75% are 20 and less.
Yeah.
So say there's a manufacturer, regardless of age or what that looks like, and you walk in and like, they're just, man, Ray, I feel stuck. I'm just like, not necessarily scared, but just like, I'm not sure what the future is. I feel a little bit stuck. I know this is just kind of broad, but just like, as you were talking earlier, that just kind of sparked this question. Like, how do you help that manufacturer? Like how can you give them, inspire them hope, excitement for the future? I know I feel like you've touched a lot of this, but what would you tell that manufacturer?
If it's the 20 person, business type thing, you look at, in general, what's their niche? What are they doing? Are they a tool shop? Is it a CNC shop? Is it real niche? How specialized is it? How broad is it? Who are their current customers? Who's been their current customers? So there's a lot of ways to really frame where you're going to go with it. I'll give you an example. When I was working for a living in industry and running a company, same thing. We had kind of plateaued at about 50, 60 million bucks, and it was just and in job shop you're constantly kind of replacing. Right. You add some stuff, and then some projects come to an end, so you got to add back. And it's like, how do we pull ahead? And part of it was doing a fairly detailed analysis of our customer base, call it an 80-20, whatever it was. And at the time we had 300 companies on our customer base. We went through, and after thoughtful analysis, determined 12 of them were really worth focusing on, because we realized not to abandon the others. We just figured if we really focused on these 12, because they were in diverse segments, so we weren't going to get pigeonholed. We had growth within their supply chain. How did we know that? We asked, what's your spend in the category that we're in? What's the share? What's driving it? We looked at those things. What were the margins? What were their hot buttons? And we really focused on those 12. And it was interesting. After 18 months, after focusing on 12, 8 of those companies had really bought into our new base. It was a key account strategy. Yeah. And those 8 accounts generated about $23 million in new business. These were customers we already had.
Yeah.
We already had. Yeah. And I've seen that play out over and over again. It's just it's like an insurance company. They're nicer to the new customers than to the ones they already have.
Yep.
Wow.
So that's really the first place you look.
Exactly.
Who do you might be sitting on gold and don't know it because you never asked.
Right.
Yeah.
Key employee or key customer strategy, man.
Yeah.
That was like.
That is so critical. In fact, I interviewed someone last week who was just talking about that again and going back to the well of the people that and get really good at delivering what they need. And you can double your revenue in 12 months doing that.
Yeah.
If you just do it right.
And be sure that part of your analysis factors in your margin.
Yes.
Just because, we got to hurry up and ship this. Why? Yeah. As part of that analysis, we fired some customers.
Yep.
In a nice way. But it's like, man, 300 customers we had across the whole company, probably 2,000 active part numbers. That's a lot of stuff to track. Who does that put burden on? That's your office. That's, who's pulling the EDI reports? How many different companies do you have to connect into your ERP? Shipping advice on stuff. the multiplication effect on the overhead applied to big customer base for most companies in job shop manufacturing. You don't need 1,000 new customers. You need 3 to 5 of the right ones.
Exactly.
And you'll have more business than you're ever gonna need.
Dude, and that's so true. Even if you're a larger manufacturer, you can be $100 million manufacturer, because you're not going to go after the $500,000 account. You're going to go after the $5 or $10 million accounts every year. Yeah. You get 2 or 3 of those, and now I just added, $15 to $30 million, $40 million to $100 million manufacturer. This is it's not going out and find thousands.
No, and plus, what happens is as you up your game and the caliber of company that you're serving, you're all of a sudden kind of working in a different stratosphere. The air gets a little more rarefied, because to play in that space, you have to demonstrate some real chops and birds of a feather. If you're supplying one, it makes it a hell of a lot easier when you want to walk over and go, hey, we're already working with that guy. We speak your language and know how to meet your requirements, but we'll put some spin on it to make it unique for you. You're in. You're in. There's none of this, well, we'll send you all the crap to quote for 20 years. And if you're persistent, we'll transfer a tool. You're not in it to get a tool transfer.
Yeah.
You're in it to compete. And if they see you're serious, it happens, man. You can get overwhelmed. Then you got another problem.
Yeah.
How do you slow it down? But that's, you'll get what you ask for if you got a plan. So.
Oh my God, dude, this is a master
class. That one.
It's been nothing but mic drops today. Ray, this is, boy, if you're a manufacturer out there, you're a president of a company, man, I welcome you, encourage you, hit the replay button, hit this a few times. And again, this is why we love interviewing MEPs, because this is just just a pure masterclass. Ray, know you're super busy. We'll start winding down here. I've totally lost track of time. Of course, I'd love to spend all day with Ray. Let's go here. A couple last things I want to ask you. So manufacturing is just, we're manufacturing geeks and just find it so inspiring. Who or what inspires you kind of in the future of manufacturing? Who or what is inspiring you as we look out ahead in manufacturing?
I'm really stoked about seeing so much startup activity in the manufacturing space, and not just on the software. Everybody's got something. Oh, I'm gonna, this is transformational. And it's like, before you get there, you really got to kind of have your blocking and tackling dialed in. So I admire the hell out of the companies, good friend Akshat Thirani from Amper Technologies, and what he's doing as a practical tool to get manufacturers of any type and any decade to start collecting some data from their factories, seeing what's going on, the pro shop guys that are out there really evangelizing, Paul Van Meter and his team. I come from a time when, ERP was a necessary evil. Yeah. This guy's got a fan base, and rightfully so.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. They're good.
So seeing that, and just seeing the people that aren't afraid in this day and age to come out and say, I'm going to start a shop, or they still have a goal. I'm going to start a shop. Right. Because my heroes, frankly, it's a lot easier to start with a clean sheet of paper to bring something up with current technology. Those folks, I think, are really going to be the future. Right. My heroes to this day continue to be the manufacturing leaders, the business owners of those small and medium-sized manufacturers that get up every day and show up to make it 1% better. Right. And the ones that are figuring out that to make that happen, it's not the geniuses in the conference room. It's everybody in that organization pulling in the same direction. Yeah. That's the power of their organization. So those are my heroes, and anything my colleagues and I can do to help advance that, that is why we're here. That's why our friends in Indiana and all of the MEPs get up every day to go to work. It's to move that needle for those manufacturers.
How about this comment here? Alan, I agree with you 100%.
Yes,
Ray is dropping bombs, and I love it. So, all right, let's start. We'll start winding down. So again, we're here with Ray Ziganto. Connect with Ray on LinkedIn. And Damon, dude, Ray's in person. I'm in person.
I know.
And I'm like, Guys, I'm like so excited, and I can't express how much this means to me.
Both stopped at the barber this morning.
We got our hair done together, you know, and just honestly, guys, you know, we goof around a lot, but I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. This meant a ton, taking the time. And, you know, we talked about the MEPs, and that's, you know, I'm honored. I'm with a couple IMEC colleagues here. We're hitting manufacturers all week here in the Windy City. And again, Cook County, there's just so much amazing, incredible manufacturing going on here. I'm just so humbled and honored and privileged to be hanging out with guys like Ray, just get this master class that we had, and then go see what these incredible manufacturers are making right here in Chicago. It's just so cool. I know, Damon, you're interviewing Dr. Alyssa Rodriguez from the Alaska MEP tomorrow night. And you know, MEP. We just did a live stream with them the other day, and we did a live stream with them. They had a client on, and they pulled in the New Jersey MEP for some equipment. They had the woman was going to buy a piece of equipment, and it was at 90 grand. She was like, all right, piece of equipment, 90 grand. They connected with the New Jersey MEP. The Alaska MEP connects her. It was like, hey, we have a guy. He's at the New Jersey MEP. He found the same piece of equipment for 30 grand. This woman saved $60,000 thanks to the MEP network. So as Ray's talking about, not only do they have 58 strong here in Illinois, they've got third-party resources. They've got other states that they can call on. Just have the humility, just have the courage just to reach out to Ray or somebody at your MEP network and just ask, raise your hand, like Ray said, ask for help. And these guys it's just so incredible what these guys do to help manufacturers. So we thank you. We applaud you. Thanks, we commend you. Just so admirable. And the thing is, like, you know, here Ray ran 1,000-person companies. You can just tell the way he was talking for the past 45 minutes, ran 1,000-person company. Now he's bringing his skills, his talents, his passion, just his unconditional drive to help manufacturers. IMEC, one last question for you, my friend. North side or south side? Who's your baseball team?
Oh, this could be career limiting. Just because it annoys more people and I get a kick out of it. I'm a Sox fan.
So
south side, baby.
So all right. So Damon, we've got a White Sox fan here. Ready? Okay. So let me throw just a pure asking for a friend hypothetical. Okay. We're at the White Sox game. If their baseball season, we'd be going to a White Sox game tonight, right? Yep. So we're at the White Sox game, and it's a tie score. It's bottom of the ninth, and it's tie score. Okay. Yeah. There's a guy on second base, tie score, bottom of the ninth. We're like, you know, we got to get this game over. But the manager for the White Sox looks down the bench. He yells, "Hey, Ziganto, get up to the plate, hit in the winning run."
Yeah.
You grab your bat. You're walking up. What's your song?
What's my song? Wow. Ooh, good one. Get my bat.
What's your walk-up song to hit in the winning run at the White Sox game?
Signed, sealed, delivered.
There we go. That is a good one. At that time, you would want to change it to that at that moment.
Signed, sealed, delivered. Are you kidding me? Who would think of that other than Ray Ziganto, man? So, hey, we've got a fabulous here. We've got Nancy saying there's only one true baseball team here. Thank you, Ray.
Oh, Nancy's in there for it.
All right, we're wrapping up. So, all right. Hey, Ray, thank you, brother. Love you. I appreciate you. Damon, what an honor and privilege to be here and have friends like Ray. One more hug, Ray.
Have a great time this week, guys.
So, we're going to have a great time. We're hitting manufacturers here in the Windy City. So, guys, we'll let you go. Have an amazing, incredible week. Catch Damon on Faces of Business. He has some great guests. We have another great guest coming up on Friday. Damon, we're going to be talking about respect in the workplace. Respect in the workplace. So, hey, Nancy says you signed, sold, delivered. Crazy. So, all right, man, we're closing out. Damon, thank you, brother. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Nancy, Alan, everybody in the comments. Damon, what do you takeaways from Ray? What do you got before we wrap up?
It's so much fun just to get to talk to you, man. Because Ray and I, whenever we get out, we just get going, man. Because it's so much fun. It's so much fun. Because there is such an opportunity in manufacturing now that for people evolving their companies, for people that are getting into the industry, it's just a fun space right now. Yep. Like it hasn't been. I mean, because I you and I both, Ray, started in this in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
And it just hasn't been like this before.
Yeah, we had a good first few years, and then it was 40 years. Of digging
out of a hole. It hasn't been like this now. It is so exciting to see the young people, the innovation, and the things that are happening for us.
I agree.
So, all right, guys, we're closing out. Thank you. God bless everybody. Hey, Diane says, have a great week.
Thanks,
and
everybody.
so
See ya.
another great, fantastic conversation. Nancy, thank you. I'm going to see you later tonight.